All right, continuing on with 1 point perspective, still on the same screen here. Whoops, move that down a little bit so you can see it. This time I'm going to turn that layer off and make a new one. Actually, um, let's do this. Let's just go ahead and close that off too, and let's just make a whole new layer. Okay, so here I'm going to do this again. Um, and again, like I said, you want to draw with a very light hand. I'm going to put a horizon line across my page. I'm going to put a perspective point on the page. Now notice this time I'm not going to put it dead center, right? I'm going to put it somewhere there where we can see it, right? Kind of off to the side a little bit because a lot of people think that 1 point perspective has to be looking down the dead center of something, and it's absolutely not true. Um, and for those of you that are wondering how I'm doing this in Photoshop, basically I'm clicking and then holding shift and then clicking again somewhere else, right? Click, shift. All right. Quite a few lines there now. All right, so this time I want to replicate the feeling of a room in one-dimensional space. So this time I'm going to put a box right over the top of my 1 point perspective. Oops. And I am going to allow it to be a little bit off center, just like the drawing is. Okay. Now, as you can see, I already have a line right here and a line right here representing the corners, and even a third one right here, which is kind of nice. So again, I'm gonna turn that down a little bit. Make a new layer. All right, so here's my room in 1 point perspective. You can see from the center, I'm just gonna follow that out. Okay, from the center, and from this center. On this one, I'm gonna go ahead and click on there and draw through. Oops. It's the only downside about using that click method is sometimes you can't line things up the way you'd like to. Okay, so now we have this sort of room shape. I'm going to turn down that under layer just a little bit more. All right, so let's put us a wall. Remember, everything is going to either be vertical or horizontal. So here's, oops, I'm still on my background layer. There we go. So here's a wall coming out to that corner. Okay. If I want, I can just kind of draw that straight across, and you can see that this would come out much farther if I wanted to draw that really for really reals. All right. All right, and then I can even put one right there if I want. So there we have our room, like looking into our room, kind of like a box. And now it's just a matter of putting objects in the room. All right, well, to get in this room, we probably need a door. Okay, so I'm going to make a vertical line here. I'm noticing that I stop because doors don't go all the way to the ceiling. In most rooms, doors go pretty close to the ceiling. Just look around your room and notice, how high the ceiling goes. And then from there, I'm going to snap that down to there. Okay, I like to do it the other direction now here, so there we go. And then bringing the door back down. Okay, want to add some depth to this doorway, so I'm going to bring it out, come up, bring this straight out, and that will allow you to create a doorway there. Okay, and I like to add a few extra lines just to make it look like there was a door jamb in there. You can even, if you want, put on a door handle. Okay. Don't forget that doors have trim around them. So we got to do that as well. Right? All right, so now we have a door. Okay. Let's put in a window. Okay, over here, a nice big window coming in, like so. Actually, what I like to do is I'll start with the one that's farthest away when I'm working in Photoshop. And snap to that one, and snap to that one, and then it's much easier to just draw my line. Remember, I want to add some depth to these walls. So I'm going to draw it like that. And you can kind of eyeball it sometimes. Right? Right. Now I'm looking at the inside of this, so that's why I'm only seeing 3 sides. I don't see the inside of this because of the direction that I'm looking at it. Now in this window, the bottom half is below the horizon line, so I can see it, and the top part is above the horizon line, but I'm looking on the inside of the box. So whereas in a previous video I said when you have something sitting on the horizon line you can't see the top or bottom, that's because we were looking at the outside of it. But now, since I'm looking at the inside of this box, I can see the inside and the outside, or excuse me, the top and the bottom. All right, and again, there's trim around this window. Okay, so we want to put some trim. And then now we have that. And there's probably you know, some bars in there. So something to kind of separate it out a little bit. Right? And then maybe there's a latch right there. Okay. Now let's say we want to add I don't know, let's say some blinds. All right, we're gonna put some blinds over the top of this thing. Right. So the first thing we're gonna have is the little holder that holds the blinds. I'm gonna snap our lines to that. Right. And then I'm going to just say make a bunch of zigzaggy lines here, like this. Having a little bit too much fun, right? Is there such a thing? All right, so now I'm gonna snap lines to those places on that. Oops, missed one. All right. And now over here, I'm going to continue with the blinds sort of doing their thing, a little zigzaggy thing here. Right. And if I want, I can go through and erase these, but usually what I do is I'm kind of drawing a base structure here. So, right, you know, I don't normally put in too many details at this stage. I'm sort of just, you know, finding the structure of things. And then I'll dim it down, or like I said, if I'm drawing with a pencil, I'm going to draw very lightly to put my structure down, and then I'm gonna go in detail. So continuing with a couple items of structure, this room kind of needs a bedroom, a bed of some kind. So let's say that the bed sits right over here. Boop. Okay, and we know that it's going to follow that line. Right, maybe a little bit wider than that. let's just start with a box, right? Bed comes up. I'm kind of looking at how much room, from side to side that the bed takes up. That's kind of what I'm looking at, why I'm redoing it. So I want to make sure that there's room for like a dresser and stuff like that. So let's actually just start like that. Let's put a box for a nightstand, then a little bit of a gap, and our big rectangle for our bed, and then maybe there's another nightstand over here. Okay. Now, I already know that that line is going to go there and come down, and that line is going to go through right there. Coming up. And there I have nightstand number 1. If I follow these lines, oops, you can see that it gives me an idea of how far to come out, right? Again, if I follow this line, then I know that I come across this way, and this way, right? And I only have to draw the bed to right there. So we'll delete a little bit of that. Right? So we have the bed. And we have over here, we've got to add the top of our nightstand. Now again, I'm not going to see this. I'm not going to see this. I'm not going to see this. So we're going to get rid of those little areas in there that we're not going to see and keep it down to the basic shapes, right? So let's see, what else can we add? So we want a light, the top of the room. Okay, so let's put some guidelines at the top of the room. We'll find center there, and then right, and then I'm gonna go here, here, and here, and now if I want, actually let me back up just a little bit. There we go. If I find the center of the room, going like from corner to corner, boop, boop, and then boop, boop, I can find that center is right there. I can kind of just draw that up right to there. I can also kind of find center this way and see that that's about the center of my room, right? So I want to put in a kind of a circular shape, a circular ceiling. So I'm going to draw a line, a horizontal line, make basically a little bit of a square. And then within that, I can draw my circle, right? And I can actually, dome that down if I want, like we often see in, stuff like that. But I'm really just detailing now. Okay, so all kinds of things can be added at this point. So yeah, we're going to put a dresser right here, like so. It's probably going to hit his knees, so let's draw. A lot of times I like to draw on the floor first. All right, so there's a dresser. Coming up, going across, following this line. All right, so I have a place for dresser, bed, all that kind of stuff. So here you have just a quick boxed in room. And now if I was on paper, I would go through and maybe either put a piece of tracing paper over the top, or having drawn lightly, turned all that down, and then gone through and start detailing things in. So, for instance, bed corners are generally not really sharp edge like that. They usually round off because there's a nice cushy mattress on top, right? Also, there's usually a sheet or a mattress, so we're going to kind of wave that around a little bit. And that adds a little bit more realism to it. Okay, we'll put some blankets there. Maybe he's got, or this person's got a headboard there. Right, it's never perfectly, everything just perfect. Right, so now you can kind of have some freedom to go in there and start adding in details, right? All right, I don't want to get into too many details, just wanted to point out how that works. Okay, hope you enjoyed that video on making a room.